For more on this, let's bring in Ari Fleischer, former White House press secretary and a Fox News contributor. So, Ari, one of the things that Aisha just said is that the Democrats want all the members of Congress and the Senate to go back to their districts this week and sell everybody on the infrastructure bill. But looming next week is this $4 trillion bill that they want to spend, which is not about infrastructure. So I don't know how they actually thread that needle. Maybe you could tell us how they'll do.
You can't thread that needle. If you go back and you talk about infrastructure, you're just making promises about the future. Nobody can see it. Nobody can feel it. And people take it for granted anyway, Dana. The big myth here is that people think infrastructure is a huge political win for politicians. It's not. It's the basic blocking and tackling that people think that legislatures are supposed to get done no matter what. And there's really not a big political upside. I think it's way over-dramatized. The hard part now is the philosophical piece, is should the government hook people on dependency? And that's the next spending blowout that the Democrats want to pass. That's their bigger problem. It's out of sync with where the country is.
You just heard Aisha say 1 in 4 even know much about what's in it. I mean, last hour we played a clip saying the president on Saturday said, we in the media have not explained the supply chain well enough. Well, yeah. you got the megaphone, you can do it. But anyway, here's a little bit of what we think is in Build Back Better. Might be in the end, might be taken out. Call for 3 guys. A lot of Bs here, Ari. $555 billion for climate, $400 billion child care, universal pre-K, $200 billion paid leave. When you start digging, $1.4 billion for an electric bike, when you start digging into it, how do you sell it?
It's corporate welfare, and it's hooking people on government. That's the problem with it. It's philosophically the wrong thing to do. Plus, last year, during the COVID pandemic, when it broke out, the government, in addition to the $6 trillion it spends regularly every year, spent a blowout additional $6 trillion bipartisan. In 2021, under Biden, he's trying to do the same thing again. He already passed a $1.9 trillion so-called stimulus that had nothing to do or very little to do with COVID and little to do with stimulus. It was just more government spending. Now they just got this so-called infrastructure bill done, and he wants another $3 trillion on top of it. I mean, all they do is spend. And somebody's got to have the courage and the strength to say, no, stop it. Joe Manchin very well may be that person. Kirsten Sinema very well may be that person.
There was also this exchange between our reporter, David Spunt, and the president about this controversy about paying migrants whose families were separated at the border. Let's watch this exchange. Get your take.
You said last week that this report about migrant families at the border getting payments was garbage.
No, I didn't say that. Let's get it straight. Yes.
Okay with DOJ negotiating a settlement.
Okay, so that was Saturday. Then on Sunday, on Fox News Sunday, Cedric Richmond, advisor of the White House, tried to figure out where this is going. Watch.
We do not tell the Department of Justice what to do. The Department of Justice is an independent agency.
What you're saying is that you would be okay with the payment of a certain amount, correct?
I don't approve or justify what DOJ does. If DOJ determines that it saves the taxpayers money and it rights a wrong, then they will make the determination that is necessary.
I guess my question, the whole thing about righting a wrong is something that has deep moral misgivings, perhaps, on behalf of many people. Many say, you know, that they broke the law and crossed the border. Others are saying, you know, the fentanyl abuse or the illegal drugs that came across the border that killed a lot of Americans, Ari. The treatment of women on their trek toward the border, that's a whole nother category here. And just, how do you think something like this would go over with the majority of the American people with the payments that they're at least at a minimum talking about, Ari?
I mean, this is where I miss Donald Trump, frankly. This is where Donald Trump would just say, no, it's not happening. No, Department of Justice, you're not doing it. We don't pay people to come here illegally. And be over. But with the Biden administration, what you get is, first of all, Cedric Richmond being 100% wrong. The White House does tell the Department of Justice what to do when it comes to major policy initiatives. This is not an individual matter of justice where someone is determined guilty or innocent. Yes, the White House stays out of that. This is a major new policy initiative. The White House's fingerprints are all over it. It should be stopped dead in its tracks. This would be the biggest magnet you could ever think of to make people say, I'm coming to America illegally. You get paid hundreds of thousands for it. but it also raises the issue of what did Joe Biden know and when was he briefed on it?
Right.
He must have forgotten, just like he forgot about being told you have to keep troops in Afghanistan. He once said nobody told him anything about that. Now he's acting as if, did he know anything about what the Department of Justice was doing when he said that's a garbage report?
Well, Ari, this
to Peter
story was
Doocy?
out for several days before he was ever
Yes.
even answered a question about it. That's
Correct.
what I think is
Yeah.
either he didn't know or he did, or the White
Right.
I don't know. I mean, to me, that you could have jumped on that
sloppy.
initially. Very sloppy. I don't like that.
It's wrong, it's sloppy, and I hope that we don't pay a penny to anybody who came here illegally.
Good to see you,
All right,
Ari
thanks.
Fleischer. Great week.
We shall be determined in due time. Thank you,
Thank
Ari.
you,
9
guys.
minutes